What's up, Draftaholics? You just finished week 1 Monday Night Football, and all of a sudden, it's time to roll into week 2.
Hey.
It's the Thursday Mini. Happy to be here, folks. My name is Matt Savoca, at Draftaholic on Twitter, and he's a television screen today, folks. Coming to us from the Carolinas, he was helping his family with the family
Storm
business, with the
preparations,
storm prep. He's a mensch. What can you say? He's down there helping out. George Slotin, how you doing?
At George Slotin on Twitter, glad to be here. All the love to the Southeast, and hopefully we can make it through on the other side with very little damage.
I'm William Spinato, at W Spinato on Twitter. 2 N's, 1 T. And I'm pretty excited here to get into our Thursday Mini. Looking forward to my Ravens on Thursday night.
Yeah, it should be a great matchup. I was getting all my headphones, getting technologically prepared. We're prepared here for the Thursday Mini. Yeah, you can always follow us all at Draftaholics Pod on Twitter and on Instagram. We post our draft boards, and of course, later this week, we'll be coming with a full episode where we break down the entire Week 2 slate. We talk about all of our favorite things, but we want to get you ready for the week. You may have had your waiver wire runs. You may have gotten that first player that you're really excited about, and you're looking to see what's going to repeat from Week 1. We want to do our 2-minute drill where we break down the Roto World news and notes with a very quick take on it all. So here we go. Patriots signed Corey Coleman, first-round pick of the Browns. What do you think? Any relevancy in fantasy?
He'll be cut very soon.
All right. Benny Fowler, same thing with the Patriots?
Similarly, possibility of being cut.
Hakeem Valles, V-A-L-L-E-S, and Levine Toilolo leading snaps for the Detroit tight ends. Michael Roberts and Luke Wilson, actor in Old School, nowhere to be found. Is this bad?
It's horrible for the Lions and insignificant for fantasy.
Greg Olson. Go ahead.
I'd rather Hunter Henry, who's not on the field right now.
Right, yeah,
that's bad.
I mean, he's a
That's
valuable
bad.
stash.
Greg Olson not going to miss the full season. It looked really, really bad. He's going to miss at least a few weeks. His fill-in, Ian Thomas. Is he fantasy relevant?
I think so, yeah, absolutely. He was on the field. There's a chance he could be very fantasy relevant. Let's just say that.
Absolutely.
Come back to me next week.
Okay. Ben
Great prediction there,
Roethlisberger.
George.
He's dealing with a minor elbow injury. This is textbook Ben Roethlisberger early in the week, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he's going to be fine.
Okay. Moving on here. Nick Foles is the week 2 starter. Any surprise there whatsoever?
No.
All right. Josh Gordon officially listed as a starter as well. Any surprise there?
No surprise per se, but it's less news than last week in terms of drama. So maybe you finally feel free to just fully unload him. All
right. Doug Baldwin is going to miss a bit of time, 2 to 4 weeks, maybe more, with a sprained MCL. Who takes the big roles in Seattle?
Listen, if Tyler Lockett does not step up, then you can forever answer that question as a no for Tyler Lockett. I feel like he's had opportunities before, and now he's got a chance to finally do something with it.
CJ Procise is my guess.
Oh,
really?
Add that in. Okay. Deshaun Jackson is dealing with a concussion and a shoulder injury. You think he plays week 2?
I hope so.
Yeah, it would be nice if he does, but if he doesn't, you got to look the way of Godwin.
All right. Well, that's our 2 minutes. They're saying it's a major question mark if he plays right now. So that is leaning towards the doubtful side of things. You may know more than we know. Of course, we record earlier in the week. You're going to know more information. We said it last week. Your job with the Draftaholics is to mesh these gut feelings from early in the week with the great research from all over the industry that you know and love already. When that gut feeling matches the analytics or the models or the stats that you look at, that's when you know it's a home run play.
Sure.
So that's what we're here for. We're analyzing as fast as we can, but you know more than we do. Okay, guys, it's now time for the question of the hour.
Okay.
So we're looking at the ways that week 1 has affected our team or teams. Maybe you have that one league of record where the score went really well or it went really poorly, and now you have to adjust to what you thought you knew in the offseason to what you know now going forward. What is your week 1 tactic? Do you have one, if any? George, we'll start with you.
I went into a lot of my drafts, and I think I really tried to do this in my league of record, our league of record. I thought taking some of these running backs in the RBBCs, like the Matt Breidas, the Chris Carsons. I thought that if I could take 4 or 5 of them, maybe 1 or 2 would hit. I'm not so sure if that's the case. I actually think that the better picks at the end of the season, we'll say, are like the Carlos Hydes, the Kerryon Johnsons, that can actually be the workhorse back and will never be in a timeshare per se. They act more like a 70 or 80% offensive snap rate guy, and taking someone who may be more talented at 50% may not be the play.
That's interesting. I think you're speaking more towards how you think the whole season will develop, and I think that it's an early reaction, but it's something that might end up panning out, and might be why a lot of the early rounds of the draft went bell cow wide running back heavy. My tip after week 1 would be not to overreact, especially if you're one of those losing teams. I can speak as a losing team. Yeah, George is one of those losing teams as well. There are droppable players after week 1, right? There are some situations where we saw something happen in the preseason, and then the game plan doesn't look like they're going to succeed at all in the regular season. And you can tell from week 1, there are some players that can be dropped. But does
anybody come to mind right off the bat? It's okay if not.
Well, I mentioned him earlier. I was just thinking about this. He's on my team, DJ Moore. I honestly, I don't think he's going to be as involved in the offense. I think he might be someone you can consider dropping if you're going for one of these waiver wire guys.
I think you have to wait and see how it meshes without Olsen.
He was just kind of like who was on the top of my head. But there are players that you can drop who are more ancillary pieces. But don't be that guy that dropped Alvin Kamara after week 1 last year after he had a disappointing turnout. You got to keep the guys like Nick Chubb, Rashad Penny, Kerryon Johnson, guys who have skill and the possibility to end up as a workhorse back in the NFL. You just got to wait long enough for them to have their breakout. I feel like you cannot overreact to week 1. Don't be one of those guys that, because you have that 0-1 record, the other teams are coming to you trying to buy low on a trade. Don't be that guy. Don't overreact. Hold it out. Hold your breakout, guys.
My pick is essentially what you said there, but a little bit of a variation. Guys, week 1 is a time to build rapport with league mates. You don't know what you need right now, especially in the redraft leagues where you can make trades. The point is you're feeling each other's skills and strengths out. Each year, you don't know what hands of cards you got dealt with, and what you can't do in a poker game is overreact to the flop. You got more cards to come, and it's the same thing with these multi-week games. So really what it is see who is hurting. See who has an abundance of positions. You're not looking to trade with them. You're looking to show them areas where you both can gain. Maybe it's for down the road. Maybe it's literally for next year. That happens. Your point in week 1 is to just start building rapport, especially if it's a new league mate. If someone needs to be brought into the fold, it can help you with trades. It also just makes the league a better place. So that's my week 1 tip. Start talking to people. Start telling people they had a great week. Start telling people they had great start decisions. Start telling people that they don't need that last player on the bench. And all of a sudden, week 5, 6, 7, or 8, they end up on your roster. And it's a good thing for everyone. So, guys, that's our little Thursday mini. We went through our 2-minute drill. It should be an awesome matchup between the Ravens and the Bengals. So before we go, we're going to tell you our matchup to watch there. William, can you start us off with the biggest matchup for you in this game?
Well, obviously, I'm really excited to watch the Ravens. But in particular...
Who are you picking in this game?
The Ravens. Come on, are you kidding me?
Oh, my Lord.
But I do have to say, I would like to see what's going to happen with those 3 wide receivers that each scored a touchdown last week. And they were all on a new team. That's the last time that's happened since 2002 with the Patriots. 3 receivers that it was their first time on a team all scored a touchdown. You can't guarantee that they're all going to score a touchdown every week, but I would like to see if one of these guys emerges as more than just spread the ball around kind of offense, as someone that Joe really locks into. He's had a history with locking into a veteran receiver before. There were years when him with Steve Smith, it was just a guaranteed start in terms of volume.
Torrey
too. Yeah, I mean, the Ravens, in my opinion, should never draft a wide receiver again because we have absolutely no luck at doing that. We just need to take advantage of our skill at picking a veteran wide receiver that can lock up with Joe. And in this case, we've got 3 opportunities. I would love to see John Brown become an explosive player that Joe not only can hit with the deep ball, but can rely on in the passing game. Also love Crabtree and Snead. So it's worth looking for who is going to emerge with that connection.
I love that all of a sudden, William, he's naming Joe Flacco Joe. It's just a first-name basis.
my bro,
and everyone
man.
else is on a one-name basis. He's picking the Ravens. Guys, they look great. They look great against the against the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it could continue on. I do have to speak about the Bengals D and how they gave up 2, not 1, but 2 tight end 1 performances to Eric Ebron and Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle soaked up 10 targets. Eric Ebron had a nice touchdown. He's clearly going to be used in goal line packages there in Indy. And guys, that only happened, I believe, 6 times all last year. So is this Bengals D changing their game plan, or are they a little bit more susceptible over the middle of the field? And guess who uses tons of 2 and even 3 tight end sets? It's the Ravens. They've got Nick Boyle. They've got Max Williams.
Max Williams.
They've got Mark Andrews, the rookie out of Oklahoma, and Hayden Hurst is going to be a factor when he comes back. That broken foot is healing. Hopefully he comes back full health. We know broken feet can sometimes be issues for tight
football players.
Ends.
They can be issues for anybody.
Yeah.
You're right. I shouldn't just... everyone doesn't... No one likes broken feet.
No
George,
one performs at optimum.
before I trip over my speech anymore, please tell us your matchup to watch. Close us out here.
I just want to see if Marvin Lewis really has taken the training wheels off of Joe Mixon. I think we were all being told that he is the next RB1, he's a workhorse back, and that never really happened last year. Finally, last week, week 1, we saw Joe Mixon play 82% of offensive snaps. I think the training wheels might be off. I really want to see this trend in that same direction. AJ Green said that he considers Joe Mixon in the Todd Gurley-Le'Veon talk, and Maurice Jones-Drew predicted that Joe Mixon will go for 2,000 yards this year. Mixon posted 17 touches for 95 yards and a touchdown last week, along with 5 receptions for 54 yards. He's certainly currently literally on pace for 2,000 yards. Whether he can continue that, I'd like to see it in this game. I would love to see the training wheels continue to come off or be off completely. I'd love to see him play in that 85 to 90% offensive snap percentage, where Gio takes a little bit more of a back seat as he gets older with age.
Yeah, and Gio only had a few touches. It really looks like the Joe Mixon show.
Sure.
I believe it. It could happen. All right, folks, enjoy the game. It should be a great division matchup, Ravens and Bengals. For the Draftaholics, I'm Matt at Draftaholic. On the big screen,
At George Slotin. Follow me on Twitter if you dare.
And I'm William Spinato at W Spinato, 2 N's, 1 T.
all right, one word. Who wins the game on Thursday? William?
The Ravens.
George?
The other team.
Oh, the Bengals. I'm actually picking the Ravens. All right, folks, we're the Draftaholics, where you're only as good
As your last
Last pick.
See ya.